All right. I'm going to try to break the chain of not crying tonight. I don't think I'm going to do it, but I'm really going to try. This is for my daughter, Alex. This is a moment I've looked forward to, but also dreaded the moment I became a father. From the minute Alex was born, she was a daddy's girl. I can remember the doctor handing her to me while my wife was cursing out the doctor, cursing me out, and basically cursing out the entire male species. But I really didn't hear anything. I was off to the side, and all I could see was you, Alex. You looked at me, and I looked at you, and I cannot explain the happiness I felt. I was the first man you ever loved, and for pretty much your whole life, I was the only man in your life. I remember one time when you were only a couple years old, your mother and I were goofing around, and she was joking and grabbed a yardstick and was going to playfully hit me with it. But you didn't see it that way. You threw yourself across my lap and said, "Don't hurt my daddy." We've always had a special relationship. I was a new father, you were an even newer baby. And we had many days where it was just you and me in our small apartment on Whipple Street. Your mother would be working a 16-hour shift at the hospital. It's just the two of us. The rest of the world did not exist. I remember all the hours watching Sesame Street or Lamb Chops, and on special occasions, Three Stooges and Monty Python. We shared each other's meals. We shared naps, 4 a.m. feedings, watching old movies, and thinking the night would never end. You sucked the life out of me, but you also gave me life and the will to do everything to give you the best life possible. There are so many memories. I remember taking you to see Barney live at the Merchandise Mart and telling you to stand up to a bully there, which you did by walking up and punching him in the nose. We had all the car rides to high school, and we used to joke all the time, and people driving next to us would be wondering, why are those two laughing so much in there? I remember the time that we stopped the car, we got out, and we danced in the snow together. We had numerous bike rides on your birthday, going to the zoo, Taste of Chicago, or to the lake, where we literally jumped off our bikes and jumped into the lake. And more recently, which we won't mention, but I guess I already did, but San Antonio. I went down there to visit. She came to visit me from Del Rio, and we won't go into any more details on that. But let me just say that I took care of her all these years when she was a baby. That weekend, she took care of me. I could go on, but there are too much memories to count. But the important thing is we have these memories forever, and no one can take them away. Just like no one can fully take you away from me. You will always be in my heart, no matter where you are. I watched you grow from a little girl into a beautiful woman. And I knew one day someone would come and take my place as your protector and your knight in shining armor. I just didn't think it would happen so fast. It's hard for a father to let go of his daughter. Any father out there who has watched their daughter get married knows this. Alex, you may have let go of my hand to grasp Michael's, but I will always hold your hand tight. I loved you from the second you were born and will love you until the day I die. You made me more than just a father. You made me a daddy, and you will always be daddy's girl.
dancing that way, lost in the moment and each other's face. So much in love, you're alone in this place, like there's nobody else in the world. I was enough for her not long ago. I was her number one, she told me so, and she still means the world to me, just so you know. So be careful when you hold my girl. Time changes everything, life must go on. I'm not gonna stand in your way. I loved her first, I held her first, and a place in my heart will always be hers. From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, I knew the love of a father runs deep. And I prayed that she'd find you someday, but it's still hard to give her away. I loved her first. How could that beautiful woman with you be the same freckle-faced kid that I knew, one that I read all those fairy tales to, and tucked into bed all those nights? And I knew the first time I saw you with her, it was only a matter of time. I loved her first, I held her first, and a place in my heart will always be hers. From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, I knew the love of a father runs deep. I prayed that she'd find you someday, but it's still hard to give her away. I loved her first. From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, I knew the love of a father runs deep. Someday you might know what I'm going through, when a miracle smiles up at you. I loved her first.
Let's hear for Mr. Prusko and Alex, everybody. All right, Michael, now it's your turn to escort